build, and then
Yep.
we'll get to yapping.
Alrighty.
Did you get a notification for the live?
Yep, I did.
Did you see the screenshot that I used for the thumbnail?
The sweet pea.
That's
Why not try something new?
oh, there, I got it.
Oh, okay.
I had two YouTube windows open on my cell phone, and they were both going at the same time. I was like, "What is that?" Okay, and
What?
let me open this up so I can watch the chat real quick,
Okay.
and we are gonna go with the update here. Okay, we got
Okay.
that was funny. I've never had that happen before. Hi, Gina. Hey, everybody. Cindy, real quick,
Yes.
why don't you
What?
post a link to your channel in the chat for everybody
Okay.
so that if they're not subscribed to your channel, they can get there. Hey, WTT, how you doing? Did you get those cult members to leave you alone?
Oh, of course.
Hello, West
Okay.
Texas.
Let's see.
Colorado Springs. I love Colorado Springs. Thank you, Landley, for posting that. Hey, P&P, Steve.
She's probably going to be faster than me. You watch.
Yeah, could be. Hey, Landley, can you post a link to Cindy's channel?
Me?
Yeah, it's
Me?
Cindy's channel in the thing. They were WTT. The Manson Merb cult was on the attack last night. Yes, we know. We're not worried about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
We're
Oh,
not.
yeah.
We're
We
not worried
know.
about it. They made a little hiccup, but it was easily corrected. We corrected it this morning. It was not an issue, despite
Yeah.
their best efforts. Hey, News Now Fort
They,
Worth.
they can talk a lot of smack, but that's all right.
Well, you know, they sit
Have
around
fun
and
with
they sit
that.
around and plot how to disrupt people's live streams and things like that. And then they go into the chat and they have multiple accounts, and so they go into the chat and they start causing issues in there. And as you boot one sock account out, they bring back another one. So, you know, we know what they're doing and we know who they are. So they don't really accomplish anything. Every once in a while they might make a hiccup, but they don't accomplish anything. So, you know, haters are going to hate, and you know the thing of it is, the reason they hate us so much is because they hate themselves. They hate themselves. That's what it is. All right, so we got a little bit of an update on
Yes.
Otto's situation, and that's what we're going to do here. We're going to just cover that real quick. This won't take but a few minutes, and then we're going to get out of here and let you guys get back to what you're doing this evening. So take it away, Cindy.
Alrighty. So here's, gee Lee's, my computer went and freaked out on me. Okay, so here's what's going on, guys. Today, Otto had a court date there in Rockwall County, and here's the tidbit. Do you realize that since we were there the last time in December, we now have our own personal media area where we can stand and we can film, but we cannot apparently go into the courthouse with our cameras or our gimbals or any of that. We have to
Have
stay
they
in a
banned
little box.
have they banned cameras or just the gimbals? I heard just the gimbals.
Well, all I know is that there's a media. It even has a sign on it that says media area. That's all. I'm like, man, that sucks. They really hate us. If they're really to go into that degree of denying our First Amendment right, they're going to put us in a box and tell us that's where we can be if we want to film at the courthouse.
Well,
So
they hate the sunlight. Tyranny hates the sunlight. It's the truth. It's the truth.
Exactly. And so Otto's court date has now been moved 2 weeks out to the 13th of February. There was no bond reduction at this time. The judge said that the lawyer would have to file a motion before that would happen. And the lawyer that has been retained for Otto is going to meet with him sometime tomorrow. We don't know what time or any of that stuff. But we did get an attorney, a really good one, a pit bull, if you might say. And yeah, and then we're just going to play it by ear and see exactly how this guy takes Rockwall and puts them on their ears, so to speak, and makes them understand he won't be chased away.
Yeah, this guy, I know the history on this attorney that's been hired, and he's good. He's good. He's got a lot of experience in the federal sector, and he's good about bringing federal civil rights lawsuits and all kinds of stuff. He knows his way around a courtroom, and they are not going to run this guy off. He's not going to be intimidated, and they are going to be pissed if they're not already.
Yeah.
So they've changed the court date from the 10th to the 13th.
No. Otto's court date is the 13th. Not. It has nothing to do with the Rockwall 4. The Rockwall 4, at least 3 of the 4, their court date is still going to be on the 10th.
On the 10th.
So we still need everybody to show up, and we need to, educate that county on the First Amendment, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. They need to understand they're not going to violate our civil rights. So it's only Otto's case that was moved to the 13th of February.
Now, did one of the Rockwall 4 have their charges dropped?
Not that I have heard.
Okay, and it was something somebody said to me, and I wasn't sure. I'm unaware of anybody having their charges dropped. I know that one of the young ladies had to get a change of a court date changed because of a medical issue. And that was the only thing that I was aware of.
Yeah, that's Tucson Lori, News Now Patrick, Munkai 83, and The Observer are all still scheduled for the 10th of February. So we need everybody to be here and be assembled, because we're going to show them exactly what civil rights looks like.
Okay.
So.
Well, and I've figured out how to deal with the sheriff. I understand his issue. Our team psychologist has gone in and looked at all his stuff, and it appears that he suffers from an extreme case of penis envy. So we're gonna go take up a collection and see if we can get him a penal enlargement, and maybe that'll take the chip off of his shoulder.
Well, it might, or he might need something else, like I don't know, retirement.
I'm thinking the dude's overdue. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. He's 19
years, and he thinks he's all that in a bag of Wheaties. Well,
no, 19 years he's been sheriff.
Yeah.
Okay, he had another 10 or 15 years before that where he worked in law enforcement, and that's the problem. That's the problem. He's used to the old ways where they didn't have to respect our rights, where they didn't have to deal with people communicating about rights violations via the internet and social media. And, now, the spotlight is on their tyranny, and they don't know how to react. All that they know how to do is what they've always done, be tyrants,
Well, the really amazing thing is this guy is kind of seeing.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
the guy is kind of the attorney is kind of seeing what kind of crapshoot Rockwall is trying to throw.
Yeah.
I mean, case in point, yesterday. What is with your finger?
What? What are you talking about? I hate it when women say that.
But no, I think he's seeing himself exactly what's going on with this case with Rockwall, because, I mean, they're willing to go as far as not allow Otto to get a bond anywhere outside of Rockwall. And of course, Rockwall is, the sheriff knows every bondsman inside of Rockwall County, and none of them are willing to bond or do any kind of bonds whatsoever for Otto.
It's not just Otto. So, those bondsmen have been told, Otto or anybody associated with him, do not do a bond on him. That's what I ran into with Patrick when I was doing his bond. We went in, we didn't tell them who he was or what it was all about. We just told them, hey, you got arrested for criminal mischief. We want to post the bond. I gave him the money. And then, a few hours later, I'm calling saying, hey, why haven't y'all posted the bond? Oh, we're not doing that bond. We're not doing that bond.
And not just that, Rockwall is flat out. I mean, the guy that apparently is trying to do this bond, in all fairness, he was trying to. because he was the one that was going to do the original bond.
Right.
It's Rockwall themselves threatening this poor dude, telling him, we're not going to accept it. We're not going to allow it. We're not going to,
Yeah.
no.
And until these guys get dragged into federal court, it's just going to keep up. You drag them into federal court and spank them, and then they're going to whine and cry. Oh, we didn't mean it. We didn't mean it. But that's what it's going to take. And I believe we can raise the funds to actually do that. I think we can do it. I think we can do it. So, all right. So they've changed Otto's court date, and he does have a good lawyer now, a pit bull lawyer.
Yes. And my understanding is he's wearing an ankle monitor in jail. They fitted him with his little ankle monitor. Of course, the damn thing is not charged up or nothing, and of course they won't charge it while he's in there.
No, they'll probably violate him for having a dead ankle monitor. That'll be next. I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
I don't doubt it a bit.
Yeah.
What a bunch of cowards.
Oh yeah. I have just never seen such felonious crap in my life given by a municipality like Rockwall. So I'm anxious to get down there onto the ground and kind of see again what kind of fuckery run amok. And I hate to say that, but it had to be said. But I'm anxious to get down there because this needs to stop. The tyranny needs to stop.
Well, but see, until they're held accountable for their actions, they're not going to change. They do what they do because they can get away with it, and they know they can get away with it. And until that changes, until you walk in there with, 500 armed people that set it straight, or even dragging them into federal court doesn't do anything, because the federal courts, who are the judges in the federal courts? They're all federal prosecutors. They're all used to be DAs. They're not. They're the same people we're putting into the Supreme Court now. They're not sympathetic to our rights. They're sympathetic to the police and the police state. That's it. And as long as we continue to do that, there's an old saying about insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result.
Yep.
You want a different result? Go look at history. Go look at what the founding fathers dealt with. It's exactly what we're dealing with. It's just a different time. It's this day and age. Okay, so that's the update, guys. We're going to let y'all go. Oh, wait a minute. Bill Norwood is talking about, I once had to wear an ankle monitor for 8 months. It sucks. And it cost me $135 a month. And yes, that's what they'll do. And then if you can't afford to pay it, you get locked up.
I think that's crazy, the extortion fees they want you to pay just to wear that.
Yeah, he's going to have to pay pre-trial supervision, which is like being on probation. He's going to have to pay, I'm sure they're doing urinalysis. He's going to have to pay for that. Yeah, and they just hit you with all these fees. And you haven't even been convicted of anything.
That's what I think is totally absurd.
It is absolutely absurd. It's absolutely absurd. All right, guys, that is the update. Hey, Caroline, I see you're in the chat. WTT, thanks for popping in. Lan Lee, thank you for popping in. Carl Parper,
I just was going to tell you something.
Oh.
I'm still planning on serving cupcakes, something amazing. I'm going to have a delivery made from the local bakery there in Rockwall. I'm going to make sure that she gets a dozen cupcakes with the middle finger in the middle of it. So
okay, stop calling her cupcake. That bothers me.
I'd call her the other word, but that's just nice too.
I have covered this with my grandkids. I've told them, I don't normally use this kind of language, but from time to time it is necessary. We're calling her cunt cakes. Okay, just call it what it is. Let's just be done with it, and that's all. So,
but the only reason I came up with cupcake was because civilian under naval training was just kind of too mild for me.
Have some of those cupcakes and have them have a little hoochie on them or something. I don't know.
Oh no, it'll have the middle finger because I want her to understand it is okay.
She understands.
With that.
She already knows. They get training on this. Okay, they get training on this. That's why she didn't arrest him for flipping her off. She went out and looked for and solicited a victim. because she knows in that county, okay, which is a bunch of rich people, the poor people there don't have a voice. The poor people there are oppressed and mistreated. And, like Otto, look what they're doing to Otto. If Otto had $1 million in the bank, would he be treated like this? No.
Mm-mm.
Rockwall County is very affluent, lots of rich people. She knew she would not have a problem finding somebody there, one of them rich guys that would be her victim. Okay. Yep. But even that doesn't fly. He didn't flip that guy off. It's not about, if you go and look at the precedent, the court precedents and the law, it's not about if you're offended about something I say to somebody else. If I flip the police off and that offends you, tough luck. Okay. In order to get disorderly conduct, I have to address you with fighting words. Okay. Something that would cause an immediate breach of the peace.
Right.
Okay. Your dog's ugly, your feet stink, whatever. And I have to address that to you, not the police officer. And the police officer can't be the victim because the Supreme Court has said that public servants can't be provoked to violence.
Right.
So if they can't be provoked to violence, they can't be the victim in a disorderly conduct case. But they will these courts, these district attorneys will pervert the law and twist it to work the way the police want it to, and abuse their authority and have people arrested for this. And it's wrong. And the only way it's ever going to change, is if we do something about it.
Correct.
So, all right, guys, I'm wrapping this up. So thanks for watching, and we will see you again very, very soon. And
thank you.
In the stream.